All right, hello everybody. Welcome to my first video. I kind of have a little idea of what I want to talk about today. I'm going to start with kind of a preface on who I am and how I've gotten to this point, and how I think I can help people with this new thing of working from home, being in self isolation, and how to cope with that, right? So, a little bit about my history. I have been working from home for the last 6 years. Um, 3 of those I've been working for myself. And in conjunction with working from home, I've been single for most of that time. So I started going to therapy 3.5 years ago, and I started meditating about 2.5 years ago. And I've been trying to do a daily practice of meditating this entire time. Some days I'll skip it, but it's rare. And there's even been like a week or two throughout the course of the years where I have neglected to meditate, but then quickly come back. Either I've been on vacation or just been super consumed with a new client or something like this, right? So what led me to therapy was a series of traumatic events in my life, right? I had a traumatic event with my ex girlfriend happen. Trump got elected and ripped open a lot of things that I've been suppressing throughout my life. Just came bubbling up to the surface. There was no more denying these things, right? Then my family life kind of fell apart. So that was what kind of threw me into therapy, because even though I thought I was a conscious person and that I was smart enough to heal myself and to know myself and to fix the things that I thought was wrong with me, I wasn't. I needed help, right? I kept on spiraling and attracting the same type of people. They were better in some ways, but still, in essence, the same. And that's in my relationship realm. And I just needed help, right? So I started to go to therapy. And then a year into therapy, I started meditating because I left my girlfriend. And 6 weeks after that, she was in a relationship with the new love of her life. And I think that person had moved on because I didn't keep in touch with her. But anyway, I was so angry that I had wasted the majority of my 30s with this woman. So angry that I let her project herself into onto me, right? And I just had to sit and meditate. So I began meditating every day for the last 2.5, 3 years. And that, in conjunction with the therapy, really has been life changing. So, fast forward some years now, here we are. Um, we're in quarantine. It is January. It's March 2020, and a lot of people have never had this much time to themselves, right? So this is the first time that a lot of people are working from home. This is the first time that people who are married are spending this amount of time with their partners. This is the first time that parents are having to like be around their kids all day, every day. So it can be daunting. And add on top of that, there's a pandemic that's going around. So the fear, the collective fear is rising. And I've been feeling this strong sense to do something. And um, during the course of my spiritual journey, right, of therapy and meditating, I also had an executive coach. And she was more like a life coach. Her name is Haven, and I'll probably end up doing a little bit about her in a different video. But she introduced me to, because I had mentioned during one of our sessions that like I had always wanted to get my energy read. I was 37 at the time, had never done it. I believe that some people are more receptive than others, right? But I just am cautious of that and like people taking advantage, and I didn't want people to think that I was crazy, but I trusted her. So she referred me to this woman, and I've gotten my energy read now twice from this woman, and my aura read in like the last couple months, because that was also something that I've never done. Both these individuals, or two separate individuals, told me asked me first, like, are you a teacher? I said, no, I'm not a teacher, right? I'm a consultant. I've been in tech for 10 years. Um, they both said that I have knowledge that I need to share, that I think is general knowledge, but that people don't know. So the psychic or the energy reader was like, just start writing. Just get what you have out there. So I did. I started writing, and I've been writing for the last 6 months. It took me a year and a half to start, first of all. And then I've been writing now for 6 months, haven't posted anything anywhere. Um, but then she also said that I was going to be a speaker. And that terrifies me because I stutter, I get nervous in front of large crowds, and I've always been the type to do the work and have other people be the lead and present it, right? Like, I know that's my theory. I know I'm the one that created that. I know I'm the creator, but I don't mind somebody presenting my work. But now I feel like I have to be the one, which is terrifying. Um, so both these individuals told me that. So here I am making this video, and I actually do feel like I have some knowledge about working from home and self isolation because I've been living this life for the last 3 to 6 years, depending on like if I'm in a relationship or not. But the last 2.5 years, almost three now, I've been single. So I have been living alone in self isolation and working remotely. So I know how it feels when you first start. And for me, I'm just going to talk about my experiences and how I dealt with it. So, when I first started working from home, you have so much freedom, right? That you don't know what to do with. So, what I did during the first few weeks, even the first few months until I got the discipline to like sit down and create a new schedule, right? Was I wake up, make coffee, check my emails, maybe I take a shower around 10 or 11 a.m., maybe not, stay in my pajamas, change into my gym clothes, maybe like I would go to the gym in the afternoon and then come back, take a shower, and be in pajamas. I wouldn't even change into regular clothes until the weekend when I would actually see people, right? So what happened to me was I would always look for distractions. I would either make coffee, or I would clean the house, or I would do my laundry, run errands. Now, because of we're in quarantine, right? You can't run any errands. You can't even go to the gym. So what can you do during this time? I'm here to tell you. You can meditate, right? Actually, you should be meditating. You should meditate every day. It's one of the most life changing things you can do because when you try to sit for 15 minutes every day, you quickly realize how much you think, right? And you think that you're your thoughts actually in the beginning, right? It's hard to control them and it's hard to focus. So then you give up. But don't give up because that's why it's called a practice, right? Even to this day, my thoughts still run during some times when I sit, but I don't judge myself for it, right? It's like, oh, I'm doing this wrong. No, it's just what happens, and it happens to everybody. So don't beat yourself up if you can't sit for 15 minutes when you're just starting out and quiet your mind. I Sometimes I can quiet my mind, sometimes I'm super connected, other times I'm scattered, right? But the trick to meditating is you sit there, close your eyes, don't do guided meditation, like sit in silence because you have to sit in silence to see, basically. So you sit in silence, and when you catch yourself, oh, like I'm thinking I'm supposed to be meditating, that's the moment where you focus back on your breath. So inhale for 4 to 5 seconds, exhale for 4 to 5 seconds, and repeat that until your mind wanders again and you catch it. Just keep coming back. That's the practice. You keep coming back to silence. And eventually, and it can happen sooner for some people and it may take longer for others. Don't judge yourself, right? Release judgment from your sitting practice. Just do it. Eventually, you realize that you aren't your thoughts. You are the watcher of your thoughts. You are the thing that witnesses the thought. And that's a powerful fucking thing. And I'll get into that in a different video because that can take like a long time to discuss because it's so multifaceted and it's a trip. So you start to meditate. Also, what you need to do during this time, because that's to keep your mind healthy, you have got to keep your body healthy, your immune system up, right? A lot of these people who are getting sick, um, it's affecting everybody, but the odds of you probably surviving best is if you have a strong mind and a strong body, because the mind is more powerful than the body. So you need to meditate, you need to work out, you need to eat organic, or not even organic, just like food that's not frozen, right? Like eat a vegetable, eat some fruit, get healthy mentally and physically. Take this time to step back from work, to realize that, I mean, this is like the best thing for me that could have happened to us because it shows how connected we all are, right? How each of us moving in the same direction, how powerful that is. Look at the amount, we brought the world to a halt because we all moved as one, right? That shit's fucking crazy. So imagine us all working together for good instead of evil. Imagine how the world could be. We've proven where we're like right now in the middle of proving collective movement and collective thought is possible. It's amazing. I'll also talk about that probably in a different like part of this thing that I'm doing. I don't know. So anyway, meditate, work out, read. Don't just read science fiction and romance novels. Read self-help books. They're boring as shit, but certain pieces in there will resonate with you depending on where you're at. It's really important to expand your mind and to keep learning, right? You've got to keep learning. Go outside, breathe the fresh air, listen to the birds sing, right? Life is vibrant. It's still going on. We're still here. And once this is over, because it will end, some of us will still be here too, right? Some people will die. That happens every day. It's the course of life. The point is to realize that the world's abundant. The people are fighting for resources now, but the world was overproducing supplies, food that was going to waste before this, right? We were overproducing from the world. So we can go back to overproducing, but we shouldn't, right? When this is over, we should produce what we need. We should share if we overproduce because there's no point in not sharing. It's going to take and then watch it waste. Why? That doesn't make any sense. For corporations that don't give a shit about you to make money, no. We are more important than corporations. We are more important than money, right? So go outside, be in nature, smell the air, touch the ground. Also, your surroundings are very important at this time. So if you haven't surrounded yourself with things that you actually like, it's going to be very apparent, right? So that was one of the things that I realized quickly in first working from home is that my surroundings were very important. If things were not in their place or a mess, I would have to clean it and things be organized before I could even focus on work. So depending on who you are, clean your house, make sure things are away. Even if you're usually messy, clean it anyway. You always feel better when like your house is clean. So clean your house. I like flowers. So I have plants and flowers everywhere because I realized early on I wanted something, I'm inside all day, every day. I need something pretty to look at. So I brought the world into my house and I haven't stopped for 6.5 years. So yeah, that's about it. Just meditate, work out, surround yourself with the things that make you happy, right? Exercise your mind, exercise your body, go outside, be connected, realize that the world is abundant, realize that humans have gone through this before. We're going to get through it and we're going to go through it again. So don't be too scared, just be aware. And I'll be back with more later.